Tuscany. This beautiful region in central Italy is famous for stunning landscapes, rich history and unique culture. We spent a week visiting some of its main cities like Florence, Siena, San Gimignano and Montepulciano. Let me show you what you experienced. Cradle of the Renaissance, romantic and inspiring, Florence housed some of the greatest artistic treasures in the world. The fabric of the city has hardly changed since the Renaissance period, and walking through its narrow cobble streets feels like an open-air museum with all the palaces, marble basilicas and world-class museums, brimming with paintings and sculptures by Botticelli, Michelangelo, Da Vinci and many others. A cultural and artistic experience like no other. Italy's fashion industry was born and bred here. Local designers Gucci and Salvatore Ferragamo opened haute couture boutiques in Florence in the 1920s, making the Tuscan capital a stylish shopping destination ever since. When it comes to food, quality produce, sourced locally, seasonally, and sustainably are the basic pillars of the Tuscan culinary. The bistecca alla fiorentina is a special cut of the calf of the local Chianina breed, which combined with a specific preparation makes it one of the most tender and flavorful steaks I have ever eaten. For sure, a must try if you visit in the region. We left the buzz of the city behind and drove across the picturesque Tuscan countryside to learn a bit more about Italy's oldest wine-growing region. Before the rise of Rome, Tuscany was the home of the Etruscans, an ancient winemaking culture with connections to the Phoenicians. At the center of wine production there is one grape, the Sangiovese, a grape with quite interesting story because it's one that nobody believed actually existed. It was thought that Tuscany was home to hundreds, if not thousands of grape varieties. And this was not unfounded at all, as grapes grown in each time hamlet were as different from one another as they could be. However, DNA testing has shown a different story, proving all of them in fact to be one grape, the legendary Sangiovese. Meaning that the Sangiovese grapes has grown in Tuscany for so many centuries that it has adapted to nearly every microclimate in the region. The Chianti Classico is the most famous regional wine, and we had the pleasure to experience a little bit of its history as we visited the beautiful Castello di Broglio, located in the province of Siena. The castle has belonged to the Ricasoli family for nearly 800 years. And it was here that the Chianti recipe of 70% Sangiovese, 15% Canaiolo, and 15% Malvasia Bianca was created in the 15th century by Baron Bettino Ricasoli, who was then the Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Italy. After a short drive, we reached the city of Siena, known for its medieval architecture, beautiful cathedral, and the famous palio horse race that takes place in the Piazza del Campo. The city feels a lot more rustic compared to Florence, which is interesting given their proximity and that both were wealthy banking cities during the heydays of the Renaissance, but ended up developing a different atmosphere. Not far from Siena, sitting on a picturesque hilltop, is the town of San Gimignano, known as the Town of Fine Towers. Approaching San Gimignano is quite exciting as you immediately see the town perched on a hill and the skyline with the medieval skyscrapers. The patrician families who controlled the town during the 11th and 13th century built around 72 tower houses, some as high as 50 meters, as symbol of their wealth and power. Although only 14 have survived, San Gimignano has retained its feudal atmosphere and appearance. Today, the towers are open for visits, and you can even stay in one of them if you like. Another great town sitting on a ridge is Montepulciano, which not only provides amazing views of the valley, but also a little bit of everything you would expect from a medieval hilltop town. Famous for its red wines like Vino Nobile di Montepulciano, the area is considered one of the finest winemaking regions in the world. a statement I would most certainly agree with. A trip to Tuscany is not complete without a drive through the Valdorcia region just south of Siena. Here you can find the most iconic roads lined with cypress trees, vineyards, and golden fields of grain, resulting in those postcard-like harmonious landscapes of the Tuscan countryside. To me, it's in the countryside that Tuscany, like many other Italian regions, really shine. The slow living style allows you time to appreciate and pay attention to the simple and basic things in life, like a beautiful sunset, the shape of a tree, or the taste of the fresh local food. In fact, this region has so much high-quality food that if you don't watch out, you may end up going back home with a few extra kilos in your belly as a souvenir. Truffles is one of our favorite local specialties, and since November is the season of the white truffles, the most praised of them all, we decided to go on a hunt with the local expert Roberto and learn a little bit more about how it's hunted and where it grows. After driving to his secret location with his two dogs, Mocha and Freddy, we were all set to start the hunt. But first I wanted to learn a little bit more about the dogs. And how do you train them to
I train the dog with a tennis ball. And I start at 3 months and I open the ball and I put inside the fresh truffle. And every day for 20 minutes I play with the puppies in the garden. I put the ball in the grass and usually they take and bring to me.
Okay.
Just after Sundays I put in the long grass. So they need to use the nose and they search in the long grass. And so every time that they take the ball, I give some present like treats or cheese. Then, if you have another expert dog, you can go together with the one puppy in the wood directly in the truffle area.
They will teach each other.
Yeah, they learn very fast from the mother or the puppy.
To my surprise, it didn't take long for the dogs to smell something and take us to a location under a large tree.
Look at my tool. You see? Now it's very close to the surface because the ground is hard. Usually in November here there is water. But now is a bad here because no rain in August and September, just one time.
Oh, really?
And so probably is not. This is not a good season, and so the price is very high.
Very high.
Yeah. Okay, but just one. Yeah. Oh yes.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah. Oh.
You need to make it slow because you don't know the size. And sometimes you think is okay, it's small. You go down and you broke everything. And you lost the half price. Oh, not bad.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, this is snail. The snail eats something. This is better.
Yeah, good smell.
Bravo, Freddy, vieni. Freddy, no animal, vieni qua, Freddy. Bravo, Freddy. Bravo.
Roberto explained us that finding truffles is not as easy as it looks. He has more than 20 years of experience and it took him a lot of effort and time to find locations where truffles consistently grow.
I don't know where is the plants with the truffles, but I discovered this place walking. So you need time. Nice, small. Yeah.
This is the shape of a heart.
See? Yes, the ground is soft.
Oh! I found the truffle!
Brava, Mocha, sì.
Wow!
Oh yes, bravo Freddy, brava Mocha. In about an hour, the two dogs swept the area, finding around 300 grams of truffles, turning our exploration into a quite profitable day. Well, to Roberto, of course, we didn't keep any of the findings, unfortunately. It's been an amazing journey exploring the rich history, stunning landscapes and delicious cuisine of this amazing region. From the rolling hills of Chianti to the historic city of Florence, Tuscany has something for everyone. I hope you've enjoyed following along our journey. If you haven't had the chance to visit Tuscany yet, I highly recommend it. You won't be disappointed.